Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the freaking internet. This is the Fat Viking Knight coming to you from another episode here in our hardcore totemless survival world, where we are working on our project which is called Seraph's Outpost. It is a large custom biome complete with 5 rules. No torches, no totems, no netherite armor of any kind. All builds must be connected, and we must use at least 3 of every single block in the game in this one build. All of these things combined together are going to make a masterpiece of sorts, and it is going very, very well. We are in need of a lot of stone, a lot of granite, a lot of filler blocks, I would say, as there are going to be a lot of different variations of blocks and such in here. We do kind of need a few blocks that are the dominant personality. And, we will zhuzh them up a little bit, but for the most part, there are some blocks that we just need a lot of. Whether we're building a mountain, whether we're trying to detail out cliffs or what have you, we need a lot of the same variety, a lot of the same block. And most of those are stone and cobblestone variants. Some are andesite and diorite variants. And then, of course, a lot of dirt and a lot of leaves to create our custom forest here. That's just one of the many little things that we've got going on here. It is going very, very well. Currently, at this moment, and obviously I'm a little bit ahead of where the video is, but currently at this moment, I believe we are 720 days or 740 days into this world, which is still a baby. It's still an infant world, as we lost our last world despicably to us falling into lava because I was too dumb to take the long way around, and instead thought I could cross the gap with a simple jump. Missed the jump, fell into lava, tried to propel myself out without any flame resistance potions or any idea of where I was due to the sheer volume of the lava that was around me and all over the screen. And of course, we flew out into the sunset, burning speed and burning really into a wall and lost our world. Overall, though, it does not really bother me when I start new worlds. It just is sad to see projects that go unfinished a little bit. That's the only sad part, I think, but everything else, not that big of a deal. We'll do it again, we'll get our trades up, we'll build our Enderman farm, we'll do all the things that we need to do. And hell, in this particular season, I actually learned a little bit. And that is, build your farms freaking early. No matter how much you don't want to, as soon as you have the resources available to build any of the farms, build your damn farms. What are you doing? It makes the game so much easier, and then I can worry about beautification thereafter it. But you really just need to get the farms down first and foremost, or else you risk doing what I always do, and that is suffering. I kind of force myself to suffer, and it's not completely my fault, but also it kind of is because I just don't go and create the farms. I don't make anything. I just worry about the beautification, and I know that's really what my channel has been about for years and years and years now, but now is especially no different. But I am going to suck it up, and the first, 50 days or so, I'll put a cap on it. I will create every farm that I will need for the world, and then I probably will never make farms again until the next world. I'm not going to promise this because, well, I'm really, really tragically bad at that, but that is a 100% okay. And it is fine if we procrastinate a little because I know that I want something pretty and all of that. But either way, It's what we do, and we're going to try and learn from our mistakes there, because let me tell you, it is painful. To not have an experience farm for 600 days in the world, it is painful. You want to do any kind of big project? Guess what? Painful. Because you know how or how I used to generate experience to repair my pickaxe or repair my tools? Well, I used a string duplicator, and we traded string to all of the villagers. And that does not work very well. I will tell you fourth-heartedly, it does not work well. It takes about 15 minutes on average to repair one tool, even if you have the string on hand. And then you have to worry about the bottlenecking of what do I do with all these emeralds? And you also have to deal with the constant clicking using the spacebar to refill the slot, and the storage for the string itself. All of these things are problems, and even more so because they fixed the string duplicator that I used to use to get a lot of emeralds. Right now, in this particular world, we are actually suffering from lack of emeralds. I would love to have like 6 more beacons, give or take, but that requires a lot of iron, a lot of emeralds, or a lot of gold, all of which we do not have. We have an iron farm, but it's pretty shit, if I would say so myself, and produces roughly 200 iron an hour if it's loaded. However, where we currently are working and digging out this large chunk space that we've got going on, it is not loaded. So we are not generating iron at all while we are over here. So even though I am playing a lot, hours and hours and hours, we are not getting the required iron that we need. Plus, you need 9 stacks of iron for a single stack of blocks. So really, that's, a lot of iron that you need, because you end up needing 3 stacks of iron blocks per beacon that you need, and we need at least 3 more in which to cover an area that we are currently working on. Now, you can't see that just yet because I have not shown it in a video or anything of that magnitude, but I am building up to something. It's just taking a lot longer than I had previously anticipated, and I'm working diligently on trying to get that underway so I can do one massive video for you guys and hopefully show a lot of progress. I know these last few weeks we've done kind of talk and go episodes, and that's what my channel pretty much was founded on. When I started YouTube 12 years ago, that's what I did. I would walk and talk and just all the things that encompass that, no problem, talk for 25 minutes or whatever it was, and call it a day. Lately, I have gotten into editing, and it's been a lot of fun, I will say. But I do miss the aspect of going to and fro and being able to talk and vent what's on my mind, because really, that's what my YouTube channel started out with as the first place. I was not doing it to get views. It was a source for me as a cheap version of therapy, even though no one was really listening, right? But a cheap version of therapy where I could vent my frustrations, talk about what I needed to express without actually expressing it to anyone in specific. And that allowed me to kind of get what I needed out into the world, release those feelings that I had pent up in there, and not have any ramifications of them, because I didn't have people to like check in on me and everything like that. I was never getting solid views. I never put any effort into the thumbnails or the content itself. I just used it as a source of venting. And I gotta say, I do really miss that. So I know that was a long-winded opening statement here, but what I really wanted to talk about today is a little thing called why. I've been struggling lately to find a why, even in the company in which I work for or the things that I do in real life. I don't really have a why. a purpose, I guess you could call it if you wanted to, but something to really push myself further, push the boundaries on anything that I want to do, and just a inspiration for myself to make it so that I can actually do the things that I want to do. This coincides with my depression, which I am not going to talk to you about today because, don't feel like it, I guess. Either way, I kind of think it couples with that. I often see people all around me, all different walks of life, or team members, or employees, or employers, even people out in the world, the people at restaurants. Everyone seems to have a damn purpose. And I've never understood that. I've never understood how you get to having a purpose, how you get to making it so that you absolutely love what you do. You're using your limbic brain, you're feeling it, and because you feel so emotionally invested with it, you in turn love it, I guess. That's at least how I would imagine it would work, but I don't have any proof of concept on this because I don't know. I see all of these people who just wake up one day or early when they were young and they just know this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. This. And then they spend the next however many years it takes for them to achieve whatever that goal is. And with that, they are able to continue just making things a better life for themselves and making that goal that they want actually achievable. I get the concept of setting goals. However, in my personal experience, anytime that I have actually set a goal, it doesn't really pan out the way I want to. Obviously, there's a couple reasons for that, one of which is I lack focus and have ADHD. So I get distracted often and frequently, and as a result, I will pick things up and put things down randomly whenever I see fit. So it makes it very hard to stay focused and motivated on one particular goal, to not keep starting many projects, to want to keep going despite not really know where I'm going. That's the truth about it. And it's puzzling. It truly is puzzling because I don't understand how you acquire said purpose. I don't know how people just wake up and know what they want to do for the rest of their life. I don't even know what I want to do tomorrow, much less the rest of my life, however long that may be. So I don't particularly understand, though I really wish that I did, because I can only imagine what it would be like to wake up every single day, have a clear why for yourself. Why do you want to do this? And then you need to follow with how and what, but for me, I can't get past the why. I can't generate for that for myself. I can't simply and eloquently do whatever that is because I don't know what that is in the first place. And as a result, I have tried many, many, many things in my life. Many different jobs. I have hopped back and forth from retail, the food service industry, in an office for a little while, you name it. I have done it, and I have yet to draw out what I would think is a passion from any of these things. Sure, there are things I enjoy doing. I enjoy playing video games on occasion. I enjoy watching television. I enjoy writing. Hell, I even enjoy my job at times. But I don't still understand why I'm doing it. Obviously, yes, for the money. That's a no-brainer. You can't live without it. If you don't make enough money, you're SOL to begin with. But if you make enough money, then what do you do with it? Because you seem to run into this issue of, Okay, I have the money to do the things that I want now. I don't have the time to do the things that I want now, which is even more puzzling. I wish there was some kind of aptitude test you could take, aside from a regular aptitude test, of course, where it would genuinely tell me what my passions are. And I know that sounds sad, and it is sad because I don't know what they are. And I'm sure I am far from the only one who has this same problem. I feel many of us especially in today's world, 2025 at the time of this recording, just are surviving. We're just channeling all of our energy into survival and not really enjoyment because taxes keep going up, cost of gas keeps going up, cost of living keeps going up, cost of food, cost of everything. So, as at least for in my case, as my income goes up, so does everything around me. So it feels like I have made less or the same amount of money as I have for the last 10 years, even though it is simply not the truth. It's bizarre to me, and I don't really understand what the motivation is. And I need to figure it out. Here at the third mark of my life, and I'm going to say third because I would estimate about 90 or so. Like, obviously, it could be way sooner than that. It could be way later than that. I don't know. About 90 is what I'm going to retroactively guess here and just say that it's the first third of my life done right now because I just turned 30. I I need to figure this out. And I have no real idea, no absolute fathom on how I would achieve this. How I would even figure it out what it is I want to do because I have tried so many things, but none of them are things that I'm like, ooh, yes, I could see myself doing this absolutely forever and have no issues, have no regrets about it whatsoever. Can't see it. The only thing I could feel would come close to it is both writing and playing video games, of which both of those things it is very difficult to make a living in, and not something that I really have ever put in enough effort into to make happen. So, as a result, I struggle. I struggle with finding that purpose, and knowing that I do those things makes me happy. But it's all in summation too, because you never really know what the next step is. I don't know where I'm going to be a week from now, much less a year from now, right? Anything could happen, and anything presumably could drop. Just like a hat falling off a head. Anything could drop, right? But in my experience, that's not how it goes. I'd like to consider myself more of a dreamer than anything else. I look at the future and think of things that I would love to do, but never really focus on them because it's not my passion, and I get distracted easily, right? But I look at these things and I just kind of wonder, like, what if I pursued that? What if I made it, I gave it my all and bet on myself for each one of these things? What if I did that? And then somehow found the discipline to counteract it and go with it to allow me to keep doing the things that I love to do. My only concern with either of those two things is what if I would start doing it for a job? I give it 100% commitment and I research, I do the due diligence on it, I check all of the facts, I make a game plan, I make a goal list, I do all of these things for it. And then after I achieve it, or if I achieve it, I guess, I hate the thing that I thought that I enjoyed. What if I just start hating it and then don't want to do it? Because I was just forcing myself to do it the entire time. As a result of forcing myself, I wasn't able to do the things that I wanted to do anymore. simply because they were no longer a passion as they revolved around my income. I often think it's smart to maintain a job and do your hobbies and passions outside of them. But if you want to do more of them, like I do, like I want to play more video games, I want to record more episodes, I want to talk and ramble and write more, I want to do all of these things, I just feel the more, like, if I start to get paid for any of these things, there's a good chance that I no longer enjoy it as much as I did. And I feel it could also affect my best. What I mean by that is when I am not pressured to do these things and just spontaneously do them and want to do them, I feel like I give way more effort than if I was forced to do these things. I feel it's just one of those things where if I'm being forced to do it because I have to rely on it for a source of income, then how do I stay passionate about it? What do you have to do to like coincide those two worlds? And I'm not saying that either of those are the end all be all. Not saying that they're, 100% my passion or anything like that. Just two things that I enjoy doing immensely. But if it happened, I think I would give it a shot and just see how far I could go to bet on myself. It's also why I've wanted to kind of start a business. Been putzing around with this idea for a little while. I think I need to just bet on myself. Not care what anyone else thinks and just fully send it by betting in on myself. I think that would be very, very difficult, but also very rewarding. There's something about it, something that I even do at work, where I set my own personal goals for things that I want accomplished at where I work and the ways in which I'm going to get to them. But I'm doing it for myself. I'm competing against myself because I am not competing against anyone else. It's just myself and my inner voices telling me that I cannot do it. And that's the hardest part. That's where discipline comes in. That's where all the worries and woes come into play, is betting on yourself. It's both a scary thing, but it's also probably one of the most rewarding things that you can possibly do. Because if you can bet on yourself, I would say more times out of not, you'll be able to put your head down and grind out whatever it is you need to do. But I actually have no idea. These are just like my open thoughts here, my personal journal of expressions here, telling you what I think, but I literally have no freaking idea if that is the right thing or if that is the wrong thing. And I feel like there's no way for me to really know. All I can hope for is that down the road at some point randomly in my life, I come across something so moving, so powerful, that I'm able to just drop everything and do it because suddenly nothing in the world could make me happier. If I could do that, I think that would be the start to a solution here of finding a purpose. But I digress. I know you guys probably did not enjoy the talkie episode, but sometimes I really just have to go back and knock out where my roots started, and that is becoming a voice for myself, airing out my thoughts so the world can technically hear them, but really they are for me. And if someone happens to agree, disagree with them, I would be happy to talk about it. Just kind of express it and know that on some level, we are connected at least a little bit. So I will end it here on that note. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you, and hope you have an amazing rest of your week. I'll see you guys next week, Sunday, 3 p.m. Thanks for watching. Ciao!